Good morning, students. So today we are going to discuss shapes of orbitals. Now we have discussed about psi and psi square. Okay, so this is called psi. Similarly, psi square also we have discussed. So psi stands for wave function. If we consider electron as a wave, then it is just like amplitude of wave. Okay, there is no physical significance of psi, but psi square has physical significance, and that tells us about the probability density. That is, from psi square value we can determine the particular possibility of finding an electron. Okay, now what psi is? Psi is simply a mathematical function of the coordinates of the electron. Okay, means in space, what are the coordinates of electron? Means where it is present when we consider x, y, z axis, then where it is present, what is its position, that is defined by this psi. Okay, now we will be doing a few graphs, few plots of psi versus r and psi square versus r. What is r? R is the distance from the nucleus. Okay, now let us look at plots of psi versus r for 1s orbital and for 2s orbital. This plot is for 1s orbital and this plot is for 2s orbital. Now from the graph we can say that psi r value is maximum when r value is minimum. Okay, and when r increases, then this value, psi value, keeps on decreasing. Okay, similarly in case of 2s, the psi value is maximum. Psi value is maximum in the beginning, and when we increase the value of r, then it decreases, it reaches the minimum value, then again it starts increasing with the increase in r. Okay, so this is what information is conveyed from the psi versus r graph. Okay, now according to German physicist Max Born, the square of the wave function psi square at a point gives the probability density of the electron at that point. Just now we discussed it, that psi square gives the probability density of the electron at a particular point. Now when we are going to plot graph between psi square and r for 1s orbital and for 2s orbitals, then they will also be different, just like psi versus r graph was different for 1s and 2s. Okay, now let us draw these diagrams. Okay, now see, these are the diagrams. This is for 1s and this is for 2s. Now if we see properly, then what we find, psi square value is maximum when r value is minimum, and as we are increasing the value of r, then there is fall down in the value of psi square. Psi square value decreases. Similarly for 2s, if we see, same is the case, but what we find, after getting a minimum value of psi square, there is a little increase, there is a increase in the value of psi square, means there is again probability of finding the electron, and then it again starts decreasing. Okay, so what can we say? This point where psi square value is 0, it means in case of 2s there is such place, such space where we cannot find the electron. Okay, now we call such point, such plane or such space or such sphere as nodal surface or node. Okay, so we can infer from this diagram that there is presence of a node in case of 2s orbital, and in case of 1s there is nothing like that. Now just like we discussed, node or nodal surface, what it is, let us discuss again. Now it may be noted that for 1s orbital, probability density, now this is the explanation of the graphs which we have drawn. Probability density is maximum at the nucleus. At the nucleus means when R value is minimum or it is almost 0. That time probability density value is maximum when we talk about 1s orbital. Okay, and it decreases sharply as we move away from it. Means when we increase the value of R, then it again starts decreasing. Okay, now in case of 2s, what happens? Probability density decreases first, it reaches to 0 and then again starts increasing. Okay, then after reaching small maxima, okay, it will reach to certain height, means some value will be there for psi square, then it will again start decreasing and again it will approach to 0 when value of R will increase further. Okay, now the region where the probability density function reduces to 0 is called nodal surface or simply node. Now what does it mean? Probability density value reduces to 0. It means that particular space or place or area or point where electron is not available, where we cannot find electron, that is called nodal surface or simply node. Okay, now how many nodal surfaces or nodes are there for ns orbital? That can be calculated by the formula n minus 1. Okay, where n is principal quantum number. Just like in case we take 2s orbital, then number of nodes will be 2 minus 1 equal to 1 node, and in case of 1s, 1 minus 1 means 0 node. Okay, so this is the general formula for finding out the number of nodal planes in case of s orbitals. Now let us come to subshells S, P, D and F. Now see how many orbitals exist for these particular subshells, that we will see now. Now see, when we talk about S, then L value is 0, it means M value is 0. This is from quantum numbers, we know that SPDF 0, 1, 2, 3. This table you have learnt in case of quantum numbers, S, P, D, F, and after that we have to go alphabetically. And here 0, 1, 2, 3. These are the values of L. Okay, so when we are saying S, then it means L value is 0. Okay, so L value is 0 means M value is equal to 0. How many values are there for M? That tells us about the number of orbitals possible. So M value is 0 means one value is there, one value means there is only one orbital. Okay, so S subshell has one orbital only. And what about its shape? Its shape is spherically symmetrical. When we talk about P, then L value is 1, so M values are minus 1, 0 and plus 1, and 3 values are there, it means 3 orbitals will be there. So those orbitals are Px, Py and Pz. Okay, now their shape is dumbbell shape. Dumbbell means that we have to take two loops on a axis. If this axis is x, then it will become px. If it is y, then it will become py. If it is z, then it will become pz. Okay, so this is called dumbbell shape and there are two loops. Now when we talk about d orbital, then L value is 2. It means M will have these 5 values. 5 values means there will be 5 orbitals. Those 5 orbitals are dxy, dyz, dzx, dx square minus y square and dz square. Now when we talk about their shapes, then these first four means excluding dz square, they will have clover leaf shape and there will be 4 loops. Just like in case of P, there are 2 loops. In this case, there are 4 loops. Okay, and when we talk about dz square, then it has duff nut shape. Okay, Now, when we talk about F orbital, then its shapes are very complex and they are not in our syllabus or they are not up to the 12th standard. So, we will be dealing with only S, P and D orbital shapes. Okay. Now, boundary surface diagrams. Now, what do we mean by boundary surface diagrams? It means that particular area where there is presence of electron. Okay. Now see, boundary surface or contour surface is drawn in space for an orbital on which the value of probability density is constant. So what does it mean? It means that when we have drawn certain boundary surface for a particular orbital, then psi square value in that particular area will be definite. Okay, this is the meaning of this particular point. Now, if we talk classically, means if we talk theoretically, then there will be possibility of so many boundary surfaces. Okay, there will be possibility of so many boundary surfaces, but which one is to be taken? So we will be taking that particular boundary surface as the shape of orbital where there is probability of finding the electron with 90% or more than that probability, where the probability is 90% or more than that, that much area will be considered as boundary surface diagram. Okay. Now let us talk about S orbital. Here we have taken shapes of 1s and 2s orbitals. This one is for 1s and this one is for 2s. Okay. Now see, here also you can see little dark space. Little dark space means that there is also possibility of finding the electron, but that possibility is quite less. It is still there, but it is quite less. Now when we have to find what should be the boundary, of orbital, then we will take that area where 90% is the probability or more than that is the probability of finding the electron. So when we have decided to take this, then it becomes boundary surface diagram of 1s. Okay. So it means that 90% or more than that is the probability of finding the electron in 1s orbital. Now as we discussed about node, when we take 2s orbital, then you can see here this is vacant space, almost vacant. It is 99.9% vacant. Okay. So what we can say, that this is the node in case of 2s orbital. Okay, this is the node in case of 2s orbital, and since it is 2s, so there will be only one node. In case there is 3s, then there will be one more node. Okay, so if overall we will see, then it will be like this, and its shape will be bigger, its size will be bigger than the size of 1s. Its energy will be more than 1s, its size will be more, but overall shape will be spherically symmetrical. Okay, so what is the difference in the shapes of 1s and 2s? Shapes are same, but size is different, it is larger, energy is more. Okay, there is presence of nodes in case of 2s when we compare with 1s. So this is the difference. Now when we talk about p orbital, now see, as we said earlier, there are three orbitals possible for p: px, py and pz. Now when two loops are on the x-axis, then it is 2px. When they are on the y-axis, then it is 2py. When they are on the z-axis, then it is 2pz, and this is called dumbbell shape. Now see, we have taken 2p, so minimum possible p orbital is 2p. From quantum numbers we have done that there is no possibility that 1p exists. 1p does not exist. So minimum possible p orbital is 2p only. Okay. Now let us move next. Now we talk about d orbital. So in case of d orbital, this is dxy, dzx, dyz, dx square minus y square. for these four, shape is clover leaf shape, okay, and this is dz square, its shape is duff nut shape, duff nut shape, okay. Now you can see one thing here, it is confusing that where to draw the four loops. So what is the simple way? What we can do, we can just take two axes, those two axes which are involved in the name itself. Suppose we are taking, suppose I am taking dxy, so which axes are involved? X and y. Then what will I do? I will put four loops between these axes, two loops like this and two loops like this, okay, and then it will become the shape of dxy. Similarly, I can take y and z, then it will become for dyz. If I take x and z, then it will become for dzx, okay. Now this is one thing. One more thing, there is one relation between dx square minus y square and dxy. In case of dx square minus y square orbital, the loops are on the axis, for all other three loops are between the axis, okay. So these are on the axis. And one more thing, when we rotate these loops by 45 degree, if we rotate these loops by 45 degree, then dx square minus y square gives dxy and vice versa. Means if I will rotate dxy loops by 45 degree, then it will give dx square minus y square, and if I rotate dx square minus y square loops by 45 degree, then it will give dxy. So this is the relation between these two, okay. Now collectively you can see how are the shapes of s, p, d and f. So this is our s orbital, these are p orbital separately, and this is combined p orbital, because when we will talk about an orbital, then it will consist of all its parts, okay, because they are degenerate. Again this you have done. Degenerate means having same energies, px, py, pz, these will have same energies, so they will be at the same level and they will be collectively present. Similarly, these five will be collectively present, okay. It is difficult to combine all the five and show in one diagram, so these are shown separately only, okay. So these are p orbitals, this is s orbital, and this is d orbital, okay. So collectively we can remember like this. Now whatever we have discussed, on the basis of that you have to solve these home assignments, okay. Thank you.